Hey guys, David and Emily here. Welcome to Herby's Reef. Today we wanted to do a quick update just to show you that the Dino situation is pretty well being resolved by the Vibrant. The only thing I've done is increase the water changes and dose Vibrant, and I've put extra carbon in the filters so that the Vibrant seems to be working. I don't see any hints of the Dino anymore. If you look, it was just covered on these frag plugs, and within a day after I dosed it, it was all gone. If you look at the back wall, it was covered in it, and so was the floor. And I still have a little bit of this hair algae, but it's kind of dying off. You can see it's kind of turning white, and we look at it under a microscope, and that is not Dino. So I'm pretty sure we're all good. It's possible that some of this stuff is Dino, but I don't see it under the microscope. But I think we are definitely on the right track. We have increased the water changes from 3 gallons a day to 5 gallons a day. We've added a lot of carbon to the reactors, and I have been skimming well and just keeping an eye on it, and I've changed my mind. You guys were saying maybe I got the Dino because of karma for saying something bad about Vibrant. Well, the Vibrant has proved itself to me. Now I think it's pure magic, because I have struggled with Dino really bad before. It is very hard to cure, and I'm obviously well on the right road to getting this thing cured. Okay guys, here we are in our Nano tank. This is in Emily's room, and we haven't done an update on this in a while, so we thought we'd go ahead and give you a quick update on how it's doing. It actually has had some problems also. This has been the month of problems for us. We've had a pretty successful reefing career until recently, and recently we've just had issues. So this tank ended up that the chiller wasn't functioning for a few days because the pump shut down. So the chiller was on, but it was never turning on because it wasn't pumping water through it. So the temperature raised up to around 90 degrees in the water, and you can see that some of our corals didn't like that. I think this one's the one that was hit the hardest. Everything else seems to have bounced back for the most part, but this one is not happy.
That one wasn't looking as good in the first place anyway. And then to have the temperature change like that and be totally the wrong temperature, way too hot for it, it just really isn't doing well.
So we're gonna gradually change this tank over. We're gonna move it in the dining room. That way we can hook an apex to it. I can keep a closer eye on it because Emily sleeps in, but I can check it in the mornings before I go to work this way. And we're gonna change it to an SPS tank. We've been wanting a tank to add some redundancy to our system for the more expensive frags. So as soon as we're able to frag homewrecker and jolt and those kinds of corals, we're gonna put only the higher end, more expensive corals in here and just have it as a totally separate system from the other one in case we have another crash. Right now we have this cheap 4T5 system, and we're going to try to change it to a cheaper Amazon grow light fixture that's 2 feet wide and has 8 bulbs. Or the other option is we're going to use the Aquatic Life hybrid fixture and get a 2-foot one and then put the black box LED that we have over the frag tank inside that. But I'm leaning towards the T5s because when I post on Reef to Reef, all the guys that have been around forever, they say that nothing grows SPS like the T5 bulbs will. And 4 T5s over this aquarium should have plenty of par. So I'm leaning towards doing that. Let me know what you guys think. And just to show you what we've done to this tank so far, we did add this little clown goby. We've always loved these guys. We used to have one in the display, and he died through a bout of ick we had before we were quarantining well. And we found this one, and he's really he looks kind of skinny, but he eats well, so I think he'll be all right. We've had him a little while now. And then we've taken out most of the frog spawns, and we've moved them over to the big display tank because we have a few dark areas in there, and like I said, we're going to convert this one over anyway, so we decided to try moving them. And then we also lost one of our fish. I'll let Emily tell you about that.
So we had a little fish in here, and he was actually a Springer's dottyback, and his name was Volt, and he somehow ended up jumping out of the water and was sitting right on the top of that lid, just fried by the light. I don't know what happened, how he did it, but he was gone. So that's when we replaced him with the little clown goby that does have a name. Its name is Curry. My dad fails to remember fish names. So yeah, that was very sad.
Yeah, that was a sad day, and I think we're going to get one of those custom tops for this tank also so that doesn't happen anymore. I'm thinking we will drill the tank rather than having this overflow like this when we move it. I don't know if I could drill it vertically and not have to move the sand so much. That's my biggest concern. Let me know if you guys have ever done that, taken a tank that had sand in it already and drilled it. I'm going to drain the tank. I can take the fish out when we move it anyways. So I could just turn it on its side, but that's going to move the sand, and I'm worried it'll cause a bit of a nutrient spike, although it shouldn't be too bad, and we really don't have many corals in here. I could rehouse these in the frag tank during that, so maybe if we had a little nutrient spike, it wouldn't matter anyways. And we probably won't put SPS in until after MACNA. So I don't know. Let me know if you guys have ever done that, or if you've ever tried drilling one vertically and had success with it. All right, next we'll run to the display tank and do a quick update. Here we are, and I'm going to start with the home wrecker. But it's definitely starting to recover. But if you look at the tip, it's not as pretty as it was, and I think it had actually receded past it. But this morning I noticed it did have a little polyp coming out of the top, and it's starting to get the color back in the whole of the top. If you look, there's some yellow in there. And also the base, it had receded around the encrusted part, and that has gotten a lot better. So I'm hoping it's going to survive, but you never know with these things. If it does survive, it'll be the first one I've had that's this size that is STN that has survived. But I'm still very hopeful because it looks so much better than it did. We've switched the lighting up. It's not near as blue. From what I've read, the guys on Reef to Reef, a lot of them felt like part of my problems were beyond the 10. They were that I was running mainly blues and that's not the right spectrum. So I'm running the AB Plus program now for the radions for 7 hours a day, and everything seems much happier. It's just opened up and the tank looks healthy again. I'm feeling good about it again. So hopefully we're on the right track here. Another thing that we did for the tank is we added these diffusers to the radions. And these things really do make the tank look better, although they are horribly overpriced because it's literally a piece of film, and that's $65 for light. But it does seem to even the light out, and you definitely don't have the disco effect near as much. If you look, you can see that this green slimer has its growth is just going crazy. It's got these new heads forming over here, and the color's coming back on the bubble gum. It had started to kind of fade, and it's looking a lot better.
And the solar flare that we had purchased from Jason Fox that we had concerns about the dead strip on the backside is looking very good. I don't know how that dead spot is, but obviously the front of it, the polyps are extended every day and it's looking really good. So hopefully we won't have any issues with that.
Yeah, I've been worried about that. Jason said he'd give me a new one if it died. I don't know how long that offer's good for, because right now the thing looks perfect, but it's just like I said before, I've never had one really live through looking that poorly. So I'm hopeful that it's just going to continue to look good, and hopefully Jason will honor what he said if it doesn't. But right now I don't need my money back because it's looking great, and I don't want to cheat him either. This is the Haterade that we got from Jason, and it's been very happy. And this is our Walt Disney, and it's starting to encrust over the plug now. And the Palmer's blue is looking good.
It's really nice and blue down the tips there. Really nice coloring.
And then these are the things we've added out of Emily's tank. So there's the green frog spawn. It's not near as puffy and filled out as it had been before the temperature spike, but we're hopeful that it's going to do okay because it's been a while and it still seems to be all right. And then we added this pink on pink frog spawn, and then this hammer over here that's a yellow hammer.
Golden hammer. And that originally had come from this tank that we moved to my tank, and now it's back in here where we used to have that splatter hammer that we actually sold. We just didn't like the splatter, so we got rid of it.
And then we've got this Alveopora. It was a different color and it's bleached or something. I think those T5s, we were going by par numbers, and from what I understand, you can't really trust the par values on a T5. So we had it too close to the light, I think. And then our Gonoporas are looking great. This green one has never looked great, that's right here. And it was looking better for a while, but today it's not as happy. But I think it's just because the clowns mess with it. And some days they irritate it so much it just stays in. And same with this purple one. It was looking great yesterday, but the clowns have really been brutal today. And then if you look, our grafted Monty Cap is doing well. It's starting to go over the edge of the frag rack we have it on. And here are our last few SPS I haven't shown you. And they are all growing and doing well. The tank changes really did not affect any of these guys. They all seemed happy the whole time. Our zoas are starting to expand. Hopefully I'll have the whole back wall covered eventually in zoas. But for right now, we're working on just the overflow box. One last thing, we did add a Melanoris wrasse. I've always wanted one. We had one in the tank before, but he would kind of pick at our LPS and we got rid of him. But my understanding is that's pretty rare, so I'm just hoping the one we had before was defective. This guy hasn't shown anything like that. He's been just great at going around and picking at trying to find any pests that we might have in the tank. He's fun to watch. He's just constantly busy, and we really enjoy him.
And added to that, my dad ridiculously named him Mr. Noodles.
Yes, I don't know why that's ridiculous, but his name is Mr. Noodles. So I think that's about it. We will keep you guys updated, and hopefully we won't have any more issues with the dinos. Let us know if you have anything you'd like to know more about.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget, leave a like and subscribe. Bye!